Hey there, Wes Dove here with Dove Development and Consulting. I want to give you a quick snapshot of what you can expect over the next several days from a daily dose of leadership. Last week I kind of helped take it to a close in some things we've studied over the last several weeks from Napoleon Hill's 2011 release on a manuscript written in 1938 called Outwitting the Devil. And it really looked at, gosh, with all the things going on in society today, with all the different things going on around the world, how much fear is impacting what each of us face, and how we approach days and weeks, and how it impacts our buying habits, and just all so many different things: the fear of ill health, the fear of death, the fear of poverty, and so on. And that, I think, we took to a landing point. And last week I did a special series, a Facebook Live series, and was able to put it on our YouTube platform and share through LinkedIn and so on, where I really focused on communication and the importance of effective communication, keys to effective communication, if you will, in crisis, and how when we're in uncertain times, how effective communication is so much more important, and how as leaders we've got to be so intentional about making sure that we're sending the right message, and we're limiting the certainty that our folks deal with, and so on, to really help people achieve what they need to achieve. And we even packaged something that, here's the first time I'm announcing this. We packaged a 5-part, 45-minute to 60-minute lessons in each of the 5 lessons, course that we launched through our digital platform recently called Keys to Effective Communication. I offered through April 15th, that's next Wednesday. Today's, as I'm recording this, it's Monday, April 6th. So for the next 9 days, there's a 50% off opportunity to take advantage of that course, and you have indefinite access to the course. As long as we're using that platform and it's there, you've got access to the course, and we have no plans of changing and so on. And if so, we'll figure out a way to download it and digitalize it where you can have it forever. But a long story short is, each day, Monday through Friday last week, I did a lesson that took each of those 5 lessons and summarized it into, and here's why it matters even more in times of crisis, in times of uncertainty, in times when, gosh, there's doom and gloom. How can we as leaders use each of those 5 principles I covered it, that Cindy and I cover in those lessons in Keys to Effective Communication? Here's how they matter even more, and here's how it applies when we're under stress, when we're operating in high stress situations. So what I'm going to be doing is adding an extra lesson to each one of those 5 categories in that lesson. So I'll put those additional clips. They're time sensitive. They're about a specific situation. But what I learned from John Maxwell in the recent week or two was, gosh, there's always uncertainty. It just isn't always in the form of COVID-19 or coronavirus. There's always uncertainty. It's just not necessarily about a stock market crash or whatever. There's always uncertainty. And as leaders, we've got to be prepared for that. And how do we send the right message? Now, this next several days in a daily dose of leadership, what I'm going to address, I get an email. One of our mentors that we study through, he's the founder of Personality Insights, where we get a lot of the material, the resources we use for the DISC model of human behavior and effective workplace communication. His name's Dr. Robert Rollman. Each Monday I get an email from him, and today's talked about, I think the title of it was, Are You Mending the Nets? And the moral of the story is, gosh, there's always going to be something that causes downtime. But when things are uncertain in your life, what are you doing? Are you retreating? He gave a scenario of someone he knew, and talked about how folks were not fishing. They were in the bars boozing up when the weather was bad. And the question I'll have for you, because Cindy and I and a number of the folks that we interact with frequently, we've had crazy busy schedules over these last several weeks, and not all of it's direct profit, revenue generating things that for right now, but a lot of it is, how do we take the time that we have under the circumstances and the situations we're dealing with, and really set things up to make the strongest impact we possibly can when we're either back to normal, or what's more likely, a new normal. When we're in a different scenario and situation, how do we take this time that might be a downtime in what we're out to do in public facing, but how do we take this time to make sure we're the best we can possibly be a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, whatever that is, and make the strongest impact we possibly can make for the people we serve in the industries we're in. So I'll challenge you. That's what I'm going to do over the next several days in Daily Dose of Leadership. If you're not getting it already, take advantage of the link that you'll see wherever this video is at, and jump on board. 3 to 5 messages a week, sometimes less, rarely more, and you can always unsubscribe, but that's not what it's all about. It's how can you get value. And I never expect you to open every single one. What I do hope is each one that you do open, it gives you some value that you can apply for where you're at, what you need. And if nothing else, you can laugh at my grammar and some of the dumb stuff that I do and just say prayer for Cindy in it. But with all that said, gosh, look into some of those resources and figure out how can you take advantage of the time that we've got where maybe we can't do some of the things we wanted or had planned to do, but how can we do the things that prop us up for later on to make an even bigger impact than we would have otherwise? With that said, look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. God bless.